Right, all right. Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on in. We're going to take a quick peek at whatever the topic is for love. And I kind of want to start out with, a directional. Okay, apparently we got two and we're rocking with it. Um, we've got wishing well and goblins. Not the greatest duo of cards, only because we have the power of like positive thought and the concept of, I wish for this, I want this, I can manifest this, I can envision something wonderful happening. And then it's like, but then the worries set in, and the goblins are always going to be the things that tear apart a really good plan. you know um this feels like somebody who's like, I can do this, I got this, and then they go, oh, except that's probably really dumb of me to think I could do this. I mean, who am I? And you start like unraveling that positive vibe, and it almost feels like somebody has like hours of the day where they're yes, and then it collapses. Or for 48 hours somebody was like, I can do this, and then in 5 hours flat everything got deflated. Okay, so I don't know what the thought was or the plan was or what the positive manifestation was. Let's take a look at that first and see what was the wishing well. What was all this positivity? Hi, everyone. Black Butterfly 25. So honored you're here. Also, Atar Axia, Poetic Justice, Rosie, Christian Anthony. Great to see you tonight. Okay, it was there's going to be this new beginning. It's going to be awesome. I totally believe that this can have a fresh start. By the way, this is very timely because tomorrow, or I guess in about 2 hours, which will be tomorrow, the 30th of December, we have the Black Moon, which is that rare event where we get two new moons in a single month. And new moons represent new beginnings. This character was like, I'm sure this can happen. I'm so sure that we could have a new beginning. I'm so sure that this there could be this person coming toward me. I think, nah, nah, I'm lying to myself. I was all jazzed. I was so sure something could happen. And then, it's like, there's a chance for this. This can be wonderful. And then who am I kidding? And that's where we go from positive thought and manifestation to nothing's going to change for me. I'm lying to myself. And I think that takes us down the road of goblin land. Let me just see. Tell me about the goblins. Two of Swords, Knight of Coins. No, see, it can't possibly happen for me. That ship has long ago sailed. Somebody is, so far away from me. They're not coming toward me. In fact, if anything, they've gone towards somebody else, where they're so far away they don't even think of me. Okay, so this is all super negative ruminating, especially over something that a character would want for themselves. Now, I'm not saying that it's like, oh, this character should focus on the person that I want is coming toward me, and I'm going to live in fantasy land until that happens, and it's all going to be peaches and cream and everything's going to be perfect. But let's step away from being a specific person and just say, for a character to dash their own hopes on the ground about the idea of, you know what, I think things are going to turn around for me. I could picture there being a really lovely relationship out there. I could picture me falling in love again. And then they completely sabotage those beautiful ideas and say, oh, bull crap, nobody's going to love you. It's been so many years. Your chance for love is over. That is such a negative dialogue. Those are the goblins talking. And the goblins aren't even real. So now we could say wishing wells aren't exactly real either. But somewhere between, you know, nonsense positivity and nonsense negativity is where we actually live within those realms, which is a big, nice sliding scale. But we have a character that is going from, I wouldn't even say like an extreme of something that is nonsense and happy. This is like anybody can change your life at any moment in time. We can always change our circumstances, always. And there's always second chances. At, there's a billion people, well, there's more than 8 billion people on this planet. You know how many of those people are wonderful and would be wonderful matches for us that we have never met? So the chances actually of meeting somebody wonderful are sky high, but not if we won't be willing to meet anyone. So the chances to change circumstances and meet somebody amazing are extremely, extremely good. But if we then shoot that down and say, oh, whatever, no, of course not. It's too late for me. Too many years have passed. That's just the goblins talking. That's somebody intentionally blocking and really not even being able to see themselves fairly in the mirror, because she's this gorgeous maiden who's thinking she's a, like a ruggedy, kind of like um, crusty old Viking or something. And it's like, I'm not saying Vikings aren't hot. I'm just saying she's picturing herself in like, is it in some Shakespeare? Is it, as old and as ugly as a bear? I think, yeah, it's from Midsummer's Night Dream, I think. Because I'm picturing this beautiful woman shrieking this, and it's quite funny. It's ugly as a bear. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call nonsense on this one. An opportunity for great love is not over, not by a long shot. So, okay, universe, weigh in and tell us, what is the message for this individual? The Two of Swords. This is a much better Two of Swords. She's been blocking stuff. The universe comes in and says, cut away that veil, quit blocking stuff. Know what you're blocking and choose to cut that out of the way. Natalie D, great to see you, love. I just saw your name down there. I hope you're doing great. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you had a great holiday. All right, let's take another look here. We have got the Six of Swords. We get the Queen of Cups in the reverse. The universe is saying the reason, probably in this case, we're going to call her a feminine, even though this could be a masculine just as easy. The real reason that this feminine is feeling this way is because she hasn't like moved on from this negativity of feeling like she still wants something that she didn't get. And so that's tainting her ability to be like reasonable and logical about stuff. She's trying to be, upbeat, but really she's still really disappointed and is clinging to something that she didn't get because she hasn't moved on from that disappointment yet. So then it's like the pendulum swings. It's like kind of, when we put on a fake happy face and be like, everything's going to be so good. It's going to be so great. But oh God, I still hurt on the inside. And so in a few more minutes, like my smile kind of fades and it turns to a frown. And now I'm sad again. And I'm saying, no, this is ridiculous. I'm never going to be happy again. It's really just because there is an underlying disappointment of something that she's still clinging to. And that's what's kind of like skewing her ability to see things in a really fair and unbiased way. I think that's very understandable, very relatable. If anything, when I'm having a bad day because I feel like I missed out on something, whatever it is, it taints everything for that day, right? Everything is stuff that's great. I don't see it as great because, I'm focused on the thing that didn't work out, and I can plaster on a smile all day, but I'm still upset on the inside. We have an Empress and we have the Justice card. Now we can understand why she's struggling with this so hard. She got done dirty, and I think she gave like the best of herself. And I think somebody didn't do right by her. There was some karmic injustice that was done here. And it was no wonder it's been hard for her to just move on, even though to her credit, she's trying really, really hard, but then she swings back to the opposite side of the spectrum and says, no, this is, of course, nothing good's going to come my way. But it's really just because look at the wound. This is somebody who gave the best of themselves. And I'm not sure what happened, only that it was very unfair. However things happened to her, something that should have been hers was taken away, or something that, she worked really hard for didn't end up becoming hers. She's still very much in the process of healing. It's that Four of Swords energy. So, this really feels like she needs more time and loving support. One of the things that's nice about that Four of Swords is it usually depicts going home to the nest, or in this deck, but it's going and letting yourself be quiet and letting yourself get the rest. Like, I think if she had a nice long nap and some milk and cookies when she woke up, maybe some things would feel a little different. This is like, there's a fatigue aspect to this card. And that's why it's really good to allow oneself to like rest more, because healing is a strenuous process, but it's not like going out and doing physical labor. It's like internal physical labor, because it's emotional labor that has to be done. And it's like, if we worked really hard, we say, oh man, I'm so tired, can't wait to go to bed tonight. In fact, I need a couple extra hours because I worked so physically hard for the last 3 days and now I'm just depleted. Everybody would understand that. But it's not necessarily that characters give themselves the same bit of understanding when there's like this huge emotional labor that's going on. Jessica H, hi sweetie. Welcome. So it really feels like if she gives herself more support instead of trying to force herself to plaster on a smile or shame herself for not being able to like just get over something, if she gives herself that gentleness, that nurturing, that support, the nap time and some yummy cookies and some milk afterwards, maybe that's the key to getting her own energy leveled out again. We got a King of Swords here. That King of Swords is taking charge of something and finding truth in a situation. Let me just ask first about the Justice card, because I think she's having a hard time being objective about something. We have the Two of Swords in the reverse. Look, whatever was done wrong, everybody knows it all day long. There is no masking it. There's no sugarcoating it. There's no nothing. What was done wrong was straight up done wrong. Whatever happened to this Empress, everybody knows that it was handled all wrong. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is how we overcome a struggle, but it is about blockages. So I don't know if there was some kind of like something that should have been hers was intentionally, she was walled off from it. I don't know if somebody blocked her. Let's go over to the King of Swords and ask about him, because this is the need to look at something with like clarity. We have the Hanged Man. I don't know if this is the person that she's been hurting over, is a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And if there's something here where it was like, we're all in, and then there was some blocking situation that occurred. And it went from, the Empress. If somebody says like, oh, you're my Empress, this is, or she behaved in such a manner that she should have been treated as an Empress. And then instead there's this weird abrupt blockage that comes out of nowhere. There's something here about, this could be silence. Sometimes the King of Swords is not good about speaking and still hasn't spoken. The Hanged Man is a big delay. The one thing that I think is positive about this is to realize that as much as it could be really stressful, really hurtful for her to have a blockage for her getting the thing that she deserved or thought was, the way life was supposed to go as an Empress, that a delay doesn't mean never, but it does seem like there was a sudden blockage and then nothing. And I don't know if this is like an explanation that the path that was supposed to unfurl came to a screeching halt. But just because something halts doesn't mean it doesn't start back up again. We do have a Ten of Swords, though. So it was a delay followed by an ending. Okay, so that's why it was like the 1-2 punch. It wasn't just a delay. This is a weird situation where there was a stutter, an ending that was unfair, that then was like, oh, maybe it's just a delay, only then it was a complete collapse. Why? I don't understand. What is this? And how is this King of Swords still upright at the heart of this? Six of Pentacles. I don't know if somebody decided they had to go give to somebody else, like they got reeled back in, like a King of Swords got reeled back in. It's like, whoa, you're not going to be with that Empress. Don't you know you've got other responsibilities? And it's like, okay, let me just get these other responsibilities done. And then it was like, no, your responsibilities are permanent over here. We have the moon in the reverse. Something was revealed. Something big was revealed. Look, I think what we're describing here is the situation that even if there was love here, for some reason there was a blockage to this. And it feels kind of like, lovers being kept apart kind of story in this. And that, although she tried to move on from it, there's still like this bitter taste in her mouth, but like, this is not fair. Okay, universe, let's shift over and say, what is the best thought process for her at this point? Since what has happened is there's still love here. What has happened is there's still love, undoubtedly. But I don't know, maybe a lover went back to somebody else and decided that they were then in love with somebody else from their past. First it was, whoa, I still have responsibilities. And then instead they reconciled with somebody and they're like, oh yeah, no, actually I'm really in love with this person from my past. And so she was just like left swirling or something. The universe says the best option for her, the best thing she could possibly do for herself is to move forward though. Look, an Empress is a catch. How does she move forward, universe? Because I don't know yet what the real situation is, if this is lovers being kept apart or if this is somebody who then like changed their mind in mid-stride after a blockage popped up and then they're like, oh no, actually I love this other person. I don't know. That just doesn't really look I don't know. I guess the King of Swords could have changed his mind and then decided to break things off with her. It would mean that he didn't quite explain it to her exactly, though. Um, if that happened, let me put it this way. The universe is like, oh, babe, but you are worth so much more than that. Move forward. And you're so much stronger than this. And you deserve somebody who's so much stronger than that person, somebody who has stronger emotions, somebody who has stronger convictions. She's maybe meant to be with an emperor or an empress because that's the only kind of people that can ride in the chariots. She's meant to be with a lion or a lioness because that's who the Leo energy is on that strength card. She's meant to have somebody who has her back, not somebody who's fickle. I can see why it would be so painful for her, but really, if she thinks about it in a different way, measure your convictions versus this other person's and realize they're not strong enough to be your man or woman. um, what is that song? Are you strong enough to be my man? The Magician. What she needs to do, at least according to the universe here, is manifest the kind of person that actually matches who she is. Manifest herself moving forward. Manifest for herself. Don't manifest somebody coming toward her. That's maybe the one problem here, right? She has been at the wishing well, and maybe that is it. Maybe she was wishing and getting herself and her hopes up, like maybe this person's going to come back in. We're going to have a new beginning, and it's going to be love. And then she's like, "This is BS. That person from the past is never coming back. They are so far long gone. It's been so long. What am I doing, lying to myself?" The universe is like, don't even worry about that. Only manifest for you. Don't worry about where they're at. If they're going to show back up, if they're not, you deserve to be the leading person in your own life. Empress, move forward. Manifest the kind of mate. Basically like raise your bar higher. That person from the past, even if they're crazy nuts about her, in love with her and only her, if they're letting something else stand between them being able to be with her, then are they really ready to be her mate? If they're letting something like whatever this is, other responsibilities get in the way, then if they're peeled away from her so easily and told that they have to give someplace else to the point where they allow the relationship with her to just end, are they really strong enough to be her match? This kind of really, I know it sounds really rude, but I don't know that they're made of tough enough stuff. I don't know that they match her. It would be like, do you want to have a partnership that is so unequally matched? Like if you're gonna, let's put it like this, if you're gonna have a wagon that needs to be pulled by horses, they probably have to be equally as powerful horses, right? You're not going to have a colt, a young little baby horse, and then a gigantic, what do you call those ones with the Clydesdales? You're probably not going to have that because the little colt is wobbly on its legs. It doesn't have the pulling power. Um, it's not a 3,000 pound, behemoth. So if you want just one strong horse instead of having a team that pulls, your wagon's going to be off kilter. The Clydesdale's going to pull way faster, way further. The little colt can't keep up. Like you know that it doesn't work. Same thing like in a relationship. So if somebody can be peeled away so easily, it's not that there isn't somebody wonderful out there for her. It's just that flat out this person isn't the one who's strong enough to be her match. So instead of her wishing for them to get stronger, or instead of her wishing for herself to like move on and meet somebody and not be wounded by this anymore, the universe says, no, use your wishes just for you. Wish for you to move on and to meet somebody who's equally as powerful as you are. Basically set the bar according to your strengths instead of using your wishes to hope that somebody else gets to be where you are. Only wish for you. And you should wish, you're already really strong. You're already an Empress. Wish for more for an Empress. Wish for a better life for the Empress. Where does an Empress go? An Empress, man, they're already at the top of their game. They already have a ton of, worth. They already have a ton of work that they've done on themselves. They already have a ton to offer. So wish only for more for an Empress instead of spending your wishes on them. So now we go back to saying, well, the wishing well is actually a really good idea as long as you're using, you're casting your wishes in there for the right thing. I think she's going to turn this around. I think that this gets a lot clearer. I think that this, we still have the Two of Swords. Hang on. That's been a prominent card all this time. The universe is like, every time you start thinking about them, block that instead. Don't imagine that you're blocked, Empress. Block the idea that you have to spend your energy still thinking about them. Block the idea that somehow it's, like you've made mistakes or that you're the person who got left out. They were the person who couldn't stand beside you. You aren't the one who got left out in the dust. They are the ones who couldn't match your energy. So take another leap forward. Every time that you want to sit down and get blocked on it again, instead move forward, do something kind for yourself. I think that this is a pretty strong message of this is the final push for an Empress getting over that thing that happened in the past, getting beyond it, letting it go. Yeah, Ace of Swords, Lovers in the reverse. This is her turning point. I'm not in love with them anymore. I actually finally have cut myself free of that. You know what this really boiled down to? It was that I do think she was hoping for a long time for them to come back toward her, but she was only expecting them ever to just be a knight. An Empress shouldn't want for a knight. An Empress shouldn't tolerate a knight. Emperors, Empress, it doesn't matter what gender. And I only say that not to be so rude, but this is not staying material. This isn't the person that you can build an empire with. They still have so much learning to do. They're not even kings and queens yet. So an Empress shouldn't be wishing that a knight would come into their world. That's the key component to this. And I think that's where she's like, oh, yeah, no, that's definitely not what I want now. I get it. That still, I was expecting so very, very little for myself. I was wanting so little for myself from a partner. I should have been wanting more from a partner. And then I would have like maybe used that list of like, okay, what is it that would match me really well? Do they have these qualifications? Like if you're hiring for a job and you need somebody who's super, super skilled, you're hiring for a brain surgeon. Are you even going to consider somebody's resume where they have worked, let's say, in teaching kindergarten? And that's really hard. I mean, I'm sure it's just as hard as brain surgeon, but totally different skill sets. You cannot translate because I've been an amazing kindergarten teacher. I can now also do brain surgery. Just like a brain surgeon is not qualified to go teach kindergarten. It's a whole different ball game. But my point in saying this is you don't try to translate skills that are untranslatable. And so looking for qualifications is really important. Really important. I don't think she was holding that part accountable. Yeah, we have that Nine of Swords. I think for a long time she didn't know she was allowed to. I feel like this Empress really got caught up in her head for a period of time, and this is her breaking free. Okay, so if she's breaking free, what does she get next? This is a great message for this particular, black moon, this time of, new opportunities, second chances. 10 of Swords in the reverse, Knight of Swords sideways. It's not super swift that she's just suddenly over this, right? This is still pain, but maybe she starts journaling or writing it. Maybe she starts working through it. This is her still like saying, okay, I think I could let this go. Yeah, I mean, maybe not instantly, but I'm getting a hell of a lot closer. Got that 5 of Pentacles. I'm getting a lot closer. I'm seeing the things that I've been missing out on. 10 of Cups, King of Wands in the reverse. This is not to hopefully make her vilify this person, but I do think she needed to take off the rose-colored glasses and maybe see that the reason this isn't really her 10 of Cups is because this person might have been super selfish. They might have been a karmic, and she might have been trapped in even a great Empress can get themselves trapped in a karmic situation. And that is a heck of a lesson, right? To realize that, oh, wow, that was meant to teach me something. 2 of Pentacles. She's weighing that. She's chewing on that. Not to be mad at them or vilify them, but rather an Empress always looks at themselves and goes, what did I learn out of this? I learned that I picked a karmic, and I need to pick somebody a lot like them, but not them. I need to pick this King of Wands. Now, granted, we have, a feminine on this card, but it's just interesting that I think the big lesson is that the Empress did learn they were pining for a karmic. That's why it was so unsatisfying. That's why it was so draining. That's why it was so painful, because that person wasn't their person. But the person who is right for them is going to be so similar. So similar. It's going to be like the inverted version of the person that was not right for them, the person that was their karmic. That's going to be a bit of a head trip, but I think it makes so much more sense now that we see one, same King of Wands, one reverse, one upright. So many of the things that she's looking for in a person, this person had the shadow version of it, somebody who was all about themselves, but was really loving. Yeah. When it suited them, they were always out to get what they wanted. But the person who's really loving, who's also considerate of others and wants to give, that's the kind of King of Wands she's looking for. So very interesting. She's seeing the difference between, why did I fall for them? Oh God, because they had all the, like, almost everything that I was looking for, but just to the left of what it was I was seeking in a partner. This is a great lesson for her. All said and done, now that the sting and the hurt and the pain are disappearing. Look at that. She's upgrading a little bit even from there and saying, okay, so while I'm at it, while I'm thinking about, not wanting a karmic, but wanting somebody that is all of the beautiful things that I'm seeking, let me apply that to the concept of, maybe I could meet a true full-blown emperor. You notice how this is it's still the Hanged Man. So we're seeing it from a different lens. We're looking at things from a different viewpoint. And we see her slowly like unzipping the canopy of trees. It's like, when we can't see the forest for the trees, but we see clear blue skies. I really think that this was a massive blockage for this Empress. That this situation that she was in was just something she could not let go of. She couldn't get over the hurt because she hadn't realized she was dealing with a karmic. She was dealing with a lesson, not the right person for her, but the lesson that would help her then learn how to welcome in the right person. And the right person is not only a loving, wonderful King of Wands, but it's also somebody who should be a full-blown emperor. So take their attributes and make them more serious, more mature. That's who she's calling in for herself now. But she had to know that that's who she needed to attract. That's who she needed to spend her wishes on in that wishing well. Not trying to call back in a karmic, but instead trying to call in the new person that is going to match her beautiful energy. But first, she had to know what her energy was. You know, actually, this turned out to be a pretty decent story. I liked the it was lengthy, but it took a while for this character to like see what it was that she was even, you know, seeking, and to better understand why she was wounded. Of course, she'd be wounded. It's a karmic. The karmic is not going to satisfy anything. It's going to be like when we're hungry, but we eat, you know, total junk food, but it looked like it was going to be nutritious, and then it's just garbage. Or if you've ever, like, I just recently went to one of these places. Actually, that's what got me on the crazy cookie baking thing over Christmas. So I made like 13 batches of different cookies because my mother is a cookie monster. She likes cookies better than anything. And anytime there's like opportunities where I find out about new cookies, I'll go buy her, you know, some taste test, you know, from wherever it may be. And, you know, I've shipped her cookies from New York. I mean, it's like, I'll look for them. Right. But this year I tried this new cookie company and it was so gross. And 2 cookies was like $11.50 and they went right into the dumpster. And after that, I was like, never mind. Just because it looks like a cookie does not mean it's going to be tasty. So we're not doing that. We just got to bake the real deal. And then I went bananas and was like, we need to do 13 batches. So that's what I did. But sometimes, you know, when you look at something, you think it's going to be good, like you expect, because it's called a cookie and it looks like a cookie, but it's not. That's the best analogy I would make for this storyline for her finding a karmic. But they looked so good. I thought they were so right. How is it that I could have been so wrong? And it's like, yeah, but sometimes what it does is it makes you irritated enough to then go ahead and make something that you know is good and put in real ingredients. And I think that's what she needed to put into her wishing well. So sorry about the cookie analogy. Good to see everybody. Great to see you. T.A. Cahill, good to see you. Hey, peace and love. Great to see you. I'm sorry you lost your $5 bet today. Thalia, hi, sweetheart. Good to see you. Hi, Karen Bishop. So nice to see you. It's been a while since I saw you in a live. Sweet dreams, Bobby Harris. Neandria Rini, great to catch you tonight. Hi, Zoe. I love it, Violet. That's so cute. Angelina Davina, hi, sweetheart. Nice to see you tonight. Dwayne Anderson, great to catch you. Victoria Knox, thank you for the adorable puppy dogs. Hi, Lucia. Jen's in the house. Des0021, hi, honey. And welcome again, Jessica H. I'm so honored you're here. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the Members Corner. Ravi Paul, hey. RS, Nikki O, TA, Rach's Magic. Thank you, Rach's Magic. You are so awesome. Thank you so much. You always do such awesome fact checks for me. I appreciate that so much. Hi, Amani. Natalie D, I'm so glad you had a good Christmas. Yeah, and almost Happy New Year, right? We're headed straight into it. I know Violet EM is hopefully getting some much deserved rest. Little Dragon, hi. Monique B, I haven't said hi to you in ages either. Great to see you guys tonight. All right, so I've got to bounce back over to my other channel because I did not yet get to zodiacs. So we still have to do Gemini and ophiuchus tonight. And hi, baby. My baby's here. You want to come up and say hi, Pumpkin? Or you just want to dance around? He's just going to dance around a little, I think. Anyway, Aries is here. I think you can see his little snout over here. Yeah. All right, you guys, take care. I'm going to check on what the baby needs, and then I'll see you over on Keys Regretless Life. All right, sweet dreams, everybody. Bye for now.